Welcome to the River Bure, the wonderful River Bure in gorgeous sunshine, just south of Acle Bridge. And this is my boat review this year of this year's holiday boat, Melody 2 of I think 4 in the fleet from Richardsons of Stalham, Richardsons Holidays, Richardsons Boating Holidays, whatever they're officially called. And I'm starting from the Helm position this year, just because it's an amazing place to be. And before I say anything more about this boat, I think it can be summarised with this.
So you wake up ready for another lovely day on the Norfolk Broads. Oh, there's a nice little painting you get in the master cabin. And you look straight above your head. Yeah, that pretty much sums up this boat, I would say. Well done. Not all Melodies will have that sticker, but it amuses me every morning.
Back to the view from the Helm, and it's a really commanding position up here, really well laid out. You can see all the way around the boat really clearly, through the main saloon, great for building Lego, and great big views out the back through those patio doors. And if you move the curtain that should be there to the other side, really great view to the rear as well. Just thought I should mention one minor downside of this style of boat, so not this boat specifically, but this style of boat. And you notice particularly when mooring, there's a massive great blind spot there that involves an element of guesswork as to where the boat actually is. So it's an almost completely standard affair for a Richardson's classic fleet boat. The standard sort of pull-out switches for the bilge, the water pump and the wiper, and the horn. And then over here, the various usual gauges. The rev counter's running a bit high, it's a little bit wibbly wobbly. But a new gauge, which the guy at the yard told me they're trying to fit across the fleet, is this digital speedo, which currently reads 6.1, 6.2, but I assure you we're only doing 5 miles an hour. So I love this GPS speedo. I think it's a great addition to the classic fleet. But this one particularly has a weird bug. You'll notice it's flicking between 4.9 and 5.0. That's all normal. But I'm expecting to go just slightly quicker. What comes after 5.0? Oh, that's right, 6.1. So, just going to a little bit more power. Come on, go back to 6.1. 5.0, 6.1. So it seems that there's some sort of fault on this where as soon as it's above 5 miles an hour, it's now 1 mile an hour extra in speed readout. So we're actually only doing 5.2. I have tested it on my own GPS speedo and it's fairly consistent. Up to 5 miles an hour, pretty good. And above that, it's then 1 mile an hour optimistic, which is just a bit odd. Hey ho. Just below and next to the Helm, we have the Wi-Fi control. Now the Wi-Fi's not been working for us. We haven't called out the yard because it's not essential for our holiday, so I haven't given them a chance to come out and repair it, because maybe it's an easy fix. But we've been able to use Richardson's boats we've been moored up next to. That's the inverter control, the radio, and just, again, lots of storage on this boat. A nice little storage area in there, storage area beneath the microwave, storage area. I think there's 3 drawers underneath the settee. Really well thought out. And the Helm position, there's the wife, the Helm position for a change is really comfortable. This raised floor here is just the right height. Also worth noting is how well this holly and teak flooring has fared up. Although they still advertise it as new for 2014, that was 10 years ago, it's showing the odd bit of wear in some sort of high use areas, but otherwise really smartly looked after boat. Perhaps one of the best aspects of this boat is you have the Helm control over there, but you also have this lovely bench area for passengers to sit on, and you get the same view as the helmsman up here nice and high. It is a bit of a bench seating affair, currently being used to house Hot Wheel toys and my toolkit, but you know, it's got the same raised floor as the Helm. And we've also got, if I turn round, one of the stalls. There are 2 stalls on this boat, because in theory this flips over another double bunk, so you could get 6 people on this boat. So lots of comfy bench seating there. We've got the table up at the moment. whilst lots of Lego is being constructed. And this area of the boat's really very comfortable. Over here in the corner, we've got, I want to say that's fire detector, might be called monoxide detector, fire blanket. Down here is the heater control. Quite a good Webasto unit. You can choose how much heat you want. It's not just on or off. You can choose warmer or not quite so warm. So a really quite a comfortable place to be. And again, above here, we've got this big sliding sunroof, nice and smooth as well, that I can open with one hand. I found if I pushed it all the way back, it got a bit stuck. So I don't tend to have it open more than about halfway, but it's really lovely at the moment, so I'm going to open it up. In the same room as the sort of the lounge area, if you will, is the galley. So oven, sink, gas hob, all these sort of usual things you'd expect to see. Fridge, TV, not that we ever use it. And on this boat, you'll also notice a microwave, because this boat has a 240 volt system. There is 3 different 3-pin sockets, which again is not all the usual thing for the classic fleet. So let's show you where they are. One is down here, sort of next to the helm. We've got one in the master cabin, is there, next to the sink. Who said water and electricity don't mix? And there's another one in the forward cabin, next to this bunk. Oh, it's under here, underneath the wardrobe. Incidentally, don't block those black pipe holes, that's where the heater comes out, but for the moment that bag's not doing any problems. Down here we have the forward cabin, and this is a great window, lets in loads of light. There's no curtain, but that's because on the outside there's like a unrollable PVC leathery kind of thing that you let down and put poppers on the outside, so that then stops any light getting in and makes it very dark. So really well designed. Down here there are 2 single berths. Now I'm trying something new with the video this year. I'm trying to sort of put in some B-roll footage to give you a big 360 of the cabin, so if I miss anything you'll see it. I've slept in this berth when my son asked me to sleep in the same room as him. That was very, very comfortable. I like these sorts of berths. My wife finds it a bit odd because they're not at the same angle as the boat, because they go into the bow. But they're a good size, very comfortable, no problems. I think I prefer this side because it had this sort of top of the cupboard, bedside cabinety kind of thing going on. Down there is a wardrobe, large cupboard thing, very useful space. And on the other side, we've got a sink and a mirror. Both the cabins of this boat have a sink and a mirror, useful for brushing your teeth, but also useful if you have a 6-year-old who's desperate to use the toilet and you need to wash your hands somewhere else, because the toilet is only just there. A couple of other things to show you, but I'll turn the camera around for that. Underneath the bunks, there are 2 sizable drawers. So as well as that cupboard I already showed you, and then another cupboard underneath the sink. There's really quite a lot of storage space down here. Oh, there's me in the mirror, hi. Little windows to the side. Again, good thick curtains to keep the light out. Light fittings in here are both, there's 2 of them, both these square fitting kind of things, quite normal for the classic fleet. Little switches, perfectly bright, they seem to be updated with LED lights. All round, a really lovely room for 2 single beds. We'll move backwards in the boat, so you can see up there is the main cabin where we started off. On the left here is, well, I suppose this is supposed to be the master cabin. Again, sink, mirror, me. There is another cupboard underneath the sink, and we've got what purports to be a double bed. We'll talk about that in a second. And then behind the door, another nice big long wardrobe-y thing and space for a bag above. That same little window there on the side, same light fittings, and you've already seen that one. And again, good thick quality curtains to keep it dark. Now, we're not especially convinced this is a very good double bed size. The standard test is, do the pillows fit side by side? And, well, no, not really. They overlap, and it gets narrower down this end. Now, because our son has always wanted one of us to sleep with him in the forward butt cabin, we haven't actually spent a night here together, but I think it would be quite a squeeze. So you would have to be ready for that. It's kind of the first problem I've found with the boat. There were really not many. I think this is a fantastic boat, but that is one of them. I don't know why I'm doing so many cuts on this particular video tour. Now we come back out the master cabin, that way back to the forward cabin, that way back to the master cabin, and into this door where we'll find the head, or toilet if you prefer. And it's not particularly big, but it's absolutely perfectly capable of doing the job. Don't know why I've got that shower curtain in the way there, sorry. First time for us having the sort of pump action toilet. Looks very scary to use, it's very easy once you know how, but nothing electrical here. Very standard for a lot of river boats. That's enough of that. Again, sink, no problems, mirror. Again, I guess the second problem with the boat is the shower, which we haven't used this time, we've only used shore facilities. It doesn't go any higher than that, so that's my height there. I guess you'd have to sort of stand and hold it, which doesn't mean you'll get a very relaxing shower. So whilst the height here in the head is perfectly reasonable and plenty of space, the shower being down there and there's no way to fix it up here, there's no chance of a nice relaxing shower. It's going to be quite a functional affair. So another mark against the boat there. Back out of the head, closing the door behind me, and that leads us up to the saloon up the top here. Two fairly sizable stairs, which might be an issue if you've got mobility problems, but it has to be noted that this saloon area is absolutely massive, and these great windows out the back, I'm pointing out again, give you a brilliant view. Out here on the rear deck is the engine, which makes it a bit noisy for cruising, so I'm probably going to talk more about this area once we've moored up somewhere. So we're moored up here at Barnes Brinkcraft, and I can show you the rear deck of the boat. Massive, great space to sit in, benches all the way round. This side's the gas canisters, that side's a little bit of storage. We put welly boots in, I think the rod anchor's in there as well. Looking around on this side, much bigger bench there, because underneath is the engine, which I think we're the first hirers to have her out this year, but that engine looks absolutely pristine. They did say they cheat and they repaint them every year, but still, lovely Kubota engine, diesel engine. There were no checks to do on this boat. It's completely self-sufficient. They'll check it once a week when they come back in on turnaround days. And I kind of feel like this review's been a bit of a short one. Usually because I'm trying to point out things that I think you need to know about, but this is a really good boat. There are maybe 3 problems with it. The bunk, the double bunk being a bit too narrow, the shower being too low to have a relaxing shower, and I forgot to mention this, but the wife quite rightly said, where I thought, it'd be nice having the galley and the lounge together, we can all chat. It's inconvenient when our 6-year-old wants to play on the floor and set up his train track and brio, that she hasn't got space to use the galley. Closing that rear door really makes a difference to how much volume there is. Anyways, here's one just last complete walk through the entire boat from the rear here. I've forgotten to point out, this is where the table lived, but it's providing me space to put my mobility scooter. Again, just loads of space on this boat. We go forward past the helm, the raised seating section, down the 2 fairly big steps, the head in there with a little shower, other side for the master bedroom with the small double bed, and that takes us back into the forward cabin with the 2 beds on either side and the view out the front across the foredeck. And there is the view looking backwards. Here is Melody 2 from the outside as we're moored up here at Cockshoot Dyke. Built in 1980, she is a Bounty Traveller 35 Sedan, might be 34, sorry if I get that wrong. I only just looked it up as well. But absolutely brilliant boat. We've had a fantastic week on her, and I really can't recommend this boat highly enough. I'll switch the camera around, we'll have a look at her outside and see some other points. So it does look from here like she sits very, very high above quay headings with a very, very high freeboard. Actually, the river water levels are just really, really high, so she's not really any higher than other boats. But a good, clear foredeck, easy to work on, and we used the mudway a couple of times. We even had dinner up there last night on that part when we were mud weighted. Absolutely brilliant, real highlight of our trip that was. These enormous great side windows that are easily visible if you're sat down on one of the sofas, so everyone gets a really good view. I've already spoken about this more forward section with the bench. Again, I can't speak highly enough of that. Water was there, pump out and diesel on the other side. I was come back round to the back. I've already been in that huge rear deck, but it was beautiful sat out there last night stargazing. Now, my wife isn't the tallest of people, but she has hit her head on that several times. Go on, do it now while you're on camera. There you go. But there are signs everywhere saying please mind your head, so I think she's just a bit daft. But that canopy, to be fair, just provides such great shelter when we were mud waiting. We were hidden here last night, not a single breeze. It was so calm and lovely. And when we've had the rain, I've been able to stand out here. There's 2 external lights. It's just an amazing place to be. So again, I really cannot speak highly enough of this boat. Downsides, I guess, she's not going to get underneath those lower bridges like Wroxham, certainly not Potter Heigham, but no one does, or Beccles. You'd have to chudge it right through St Olaves. But, I mean, if you want a whole week on the Broads and you want to explore the south, I think this is the boat to do it in, frankly. Certainly if you're a family. So I think that's the end of the video at that point, and I now sign off. But what usually happens is we get back to the boatyard, which is happening tomorrow, and I go, oh no, I forgot to say this, that and the other. So this might not be the end of the video. There might be a special post-credits scene if I realised I forgot to say something, which usually happens. Thanks for watching. Well, as predicted, there are a few things that I forgot to mention. Firstly, this rear deck is just amazing. What an amazing space. Absolutely, if not my favourite feature, it's certainly up there in the top 2. Moving in. These sliding doors, great idea, although the runners on the bottom one have gone. I just spoke to the man at the yard, he said, oh, it's an easy fix, we'll have that done. And the table, which folds up very neatly there, now we've moved out of the way, is a bit wibbly wobbly on the floor, but a piece of cardboard kept that straight. Again, my favourite feature, if not top, I can't decide, is this area here. You can sit on, look out over the front of the boat. Everyone gets a great view. Just an amazing feature. And then the sinks. I'm beginning to wonder if it's got some sort of constant pressure system on board, because it runs so smoothly and sometimes you don't hear the pump. So that's not advertised, but I like it. Usual message about these sort of plasticky pillows. If you do come, bring your own pillows, as it can get a bit sweaty in the night. And the last thing I forgot to show you, down here in the head, this enormous cupboard with a towel that we nearly forgot to take with us, oops. And then also the inside of this cupboard, absolutely enormous amounts of space. So, Melody 2 from Richardsons Boating Holidays, Stalham, absolutely on my hire again list. Brilliant boat.